The phone slipped from my hand, shattering on the hardwood floor of our Brooklyn apartment. I didn't care. Ethan's text glowed in my mind like a neon sign. I'm done. Caleb. I'm with Victor now. Don't call. 3 years of love. Late night talks. And promises of forever gone in a single message. I stood frozen, staring at the life we'd built, Polaroids on the fridge. His hoodie slung over the couch. The coffee mug he'd kissed me over just yesterday. How could he trade me for Victor some sleazy, Rolex-wearing creep who'd been circling him like a vulture? My chest tightened as I sank to the floor. The city's hum outside our window, now a mocking pulse. Ethan. My Ethan. With his crooked smile and dreams of opening a bakery, had chosen a sugar daddy over me. But then I saw Ethan's laptop, still open on the counter, logged into his social media. Every secret, every lie, every late-night DM he thought I'd never see. My fingers twitched. I could end this. I could make him pay. I wasn't always this reckless. Growing up in a small Ohio town, I learned to keep my head down. Being gay in a place where different meant wrong taught me to hide, to blend in. I moved to New York at 19, chasing freedom, chasing love. Ethan was my first everything first kiss. First fight. First, I love you, whispered under a starry rooftop. We were broke but happy, sharing ramen and dreams in our tiny apartment. He'd sketch pastry designs while I studied for my graphic design degree, promising we'd make it big together. But then Victor came along. Victor Kane, mid-50s, dripping in wealth and charm, owned half the nightclubs in Manhattan. Ethan met him at a catering gig, serving overpriced champagne to men who didn't notice him. Except Victor did. He slipped Ethan his card, offered him opportunities. I thought it was a joke at first. Ethan laughed it off, said Victor was just a lonely rich guy. But the gifts started arriving, a leather jacket, a gold chain, a phone I couldn't afford in a million years. Ethan swore it was nothing, just networking. I believed him because I wanted to. Now, staring at his laptop, I saw the truth. I opened his Instagram DMs, my heart pounding. Messages from Victor flooded the screen. You're too good for that dump. Baby, come live with me. Photos of Ethan in places we'd never been: yachts, penthouses, private jets. My stomach churned. There were others too: screenshots of Ethan flirting with strangers, promising things he'd never promised me. He'd been living a double life, and I was the fool who didn't see it. I could have cried. I could have screamed. Instead, I grabbed my phone, hands shaking, and started downloading everything. Every message, every photo, every lie. If Ethan thought he could erase me, he was wrong. I wasn't just going to fade away, I was going to burn his world down. The next morning, I sat in a coffee shop, my laptop open, the files staring back at me. New York buzzed outside, oblivious to my war. I'd spent the night compiling evidence, Victor's creepy messages, Ethan's betrayals, even bank transfers showing Victor had been paying our rent. My finger hovered over the post button on X. One click, and Ethan's perfect facade, his curated Instagram of couple goals and true love, would collapse. But so would mine. I thought of my mom back in Ohio, who still prayed I'd find a nice girl someday. I thought of our friends, who'd call me petty, vindictive, unhinged. Was I ready to be the villain in their story? My phone buzzed, Ethan's name on the screen. I didn't answer, but his voicemail was smug. Caleb, don't do anything stupid. Victor's got lawyers. You'll regret it. Regret. I'd regretted trusting him. I'd regretted ignoring the late nights. The excuses. The way he'd started dressing like someone I didn't know. I opened X, my heart racing, and started typing. Ethan Parker isn't who you think. Here's the truth. I attached the screenshots, my hands trembling. This wasn't just revenge, it was justice. For me. For every lie he told. For every piece of my heart he broke. I hit post. The world didn't end. But mine shifted. Notifications flooded in, likes, retweets, gasps from strangers. Friends texted, Caleb, what the hell? I ignored them, staring at the screen as the post spread like wildfire. Ethan's perfect life was unraveling, and I'd lit the match. But as the adrenaline faded, doubt crept in. Had I gone too far? Ethan wasn't just a liar, he was someone I'd loved. Someone I'd built a life with. What if this broke him? What if Victor's lawyers came for me? I closed my laptop, my breath shaky. The coffee shop felt too small. The city too loud. I'd started this, but where it would end, I had no idea. The fallout came fast. By noon, my ex-post had thousands of retweets, and Ethan's name was trending in New York circles. Strangers called him a gold digger, a traitor, a fraud. My phone buzzed with messages, some cheering me on, others calling me a jealous psycho. I didn't care about the haters. What stung was the silence from our mutual friends. No one reached out to check on me. Not even Jamie, who'd introduced us at a dive bar 3 years ago. I walked through Williamsburg, the city's pulse mocking my chaos. My post had done its job. Ethan's Instagram was flooded with comments. Is this true? You played Caleb dirty. But then I saw his story, a photo of him and Victor on a rooftop bar, clinking champagne glasses. Captioned, living my truth. My blood boiled. He wasn't hiding, was flaunting it. I ducked into a diner, needing air, needing space. The waitress, a woman with tired eyes and a kind smile, slid a coffee my way. Rough day? Hon? She asked. I nodded, unable to speak. My phone lit up again, Ethan's number. This time, I answered. Caleb, you're pathetic. He spat, his voice sharp. You think this hurts me? Victor's got my back. You're just embarrassing yourself. Then why are you calling? I shot back, my voice low to avoid the diner's curious stares. Scared your new daddy might see who you really are. He laughed, cold and unfamiliar. You don't get it. Victor knows everything. He doesn't care. But you're done. No one's gonna trust you after this. He hung up, and I sat there, coffee growing cold. Was he right? Had I just torched my own life to spite him? I opened X again, scrolling through the comments. Some were brutal. Caleb's just bitter. Move on. Loser. Others saw through Ethan. He used you. Man. Stay strong. The support felt hollow. I didn't want pity, I wanted him to hurt like I did. That night, I crashed at a cheap motel, unable to face our apartment. The room smelled of stale cigarettes, but it was better than Ethan's ghost haunting every corner. I opened my laptop, digging deeper into his digital trail. His cloud account was still linked to mine. Idiot never changed the password. There. I found more. Emails to Victor planning a trip to Paris. Photos of them in bed. Even a draft contract for Ethan to manage one of Victor's clubs. My stomach twisted. He'd been planning this for months. I didn't post these not yet. I needed a plan. Something bigger than a viral rant. Victor wasn't just a rich creep. He was powerful. Connected. If I was going down, I'd take them both with me. I started researching Victor Kane. His name popped up in articles. Nightlife mogul expands empire. Kane's charity gala raises millions. But there were whispers to shady deals. Tax evasion. Rumors of exploiting young men like Ethan. I saved every link. Every post. Every crumb. The next day, I met Jamie at a park. He looked uncomfortable. Hands stuffed in his pockets. "Caleb, what you did, it's messed up," he said. "You could have just let him go." Let him go? I laughed. Bitter. He lied to me for months. Jamie. He's living in a penthouse while I'm scraping by. You think that's fair? Jamie sighed. I get it. You're hurt. But this. It's war. Ethan's saying you're unstable. That you faked those screenshots. My jaw dropped. Faked them. You've known me for years. You think I'd lie? He shrugged, avoiding my eyes. I don't know. Man. Ethan's got a lot of people on his side now. Victor's spinning it like you're obsessed. I walked away. Heart pounding. Ethan wasn't just winning, was rewriting the story. I needed allies. Proof. Something undeniable. Back at the motel, I found it. A video Ethan had sent Victor, bragging about scamming some loser artist for rent money. The loser was me. My hands shook as I saved it. This wasn't just personal Anna Maria, it was a fight for my truth. I posted the video to X. No caption. Just raw footage. It spread faster than the first post. People were outraged. Tagging Victor. Demanding answers. But then my phone rang a number I didn't know. A man's voice. Smooth and cold. Caleb. This is Victor Kane. You're playing a dangerous game. Stop now. Or you'll lose more than you already have. Victor's threat hung in the air like smoke, choking me. I sat in the motel room. The neon sign outside flickering through the blinds. My post with the video was still gaining traction, hundreds of retweets every minute, but now I felt exposed. A target. Victor wasn't just some rich guy. He was a predator with lawyers, power, and no conscience. I'd poked a bear, and it was waking up. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I scoured the internet for more on Victor. Old ex-posts mentioned him preying on young guys at his clubs, promising fame and money, then discarding them. A pattern emerged: men like Ethan, dazzled by wealth, used and tossed aside. I found a blog from an ex-employee, Nightlife Insider, claiming Victor had ties to shady offshore accounts. No proof, but enough to make me dig deeper. If I could find something solid, I could end him. By morning, my inbox was flooded. Strangers sent support. You're exposing a creep. Keep going. Others sent hate. You're a stalker. Get a life. Then, a DM from someone named Shadow NYC. Caleb. I know Victor. Meet me. I can help. No details. Just an address in the East Village. My gut screamed trap. But I was running out of options. Ethan was painting me as the villain. And Victor's call had made one thing clear. They weren't going to stop. I met Shadow NY Creel named Marcus at a dive bar. He was in his 30s. Wiry. With a nervous energy that matched the flickering lights. I used to work for Victor, he said, nursing a beer. Bartender at his club. Eclipse. Saw what he did to guys like Ethan. Promises them the world. Then controls them. Why help me? I asked. Suspicious. Marcus leaned closer. Because he ruined my life too. I got out. But not before he blackmailed me into silence. You're stirring things up. I want him gone. He slid a USB drive across the table. Financial records. He whispered. Victor's been funneling money through his clubs. Dodging taxes. It's not enough to jail him. But it's a start. Be careful's watching you. I pocketed the drive. My heart racing. This was bigger than Ethan now. Back at the motel. I plugged it in. Spreadsheets. Bank statements. Emails proof Victor was laundering money through fake consulting fees. Ethan's name was on some of the transfers. Labeled personal expenses. My ex wasn't just a cheater. He was complicit. I didn't post it yet. I needed to be smart. Not impulsive. But Ethan wasn't slowing down. His latest Instagram post showed him at a gala. Arm around Victor. Captioned. Grateful for new beginnings. Comments tore into him. But his followers, Victor's followers, defended him. Ignore the haters. You're thriving. I wanted to scream. He wasn't thriving. He was bought. I called my sister. Lena. In Ohio. She was the only family I had who didn't judge me for being gay. Caleb. This isn't you. She said. Her voice soft but firm. You're hurt. But ruining Ethan's life won't fix it. Walk away. I can't. I said. My voice breaking. He's lying about me. Lena. Victor's threatening me. If I stop now, they win. She sighed. Then be smarter than them. Don't just post stuff, build a case. Get help. She was right. I reached out to a journalist friend, Sarah, who worked for a local paper. She met me at a cafe. Her eyes wide as I showed her the USB drive. This is huge. Caleb, she said. But it's dangerous. Victor's got connections everywhere, cops. Politicians. You name it. Will you publish it? I asked. She hesitated. I need to verify it first. And you need to stay safe. Lay low. That night, I moved to a new motel. Paying cash. My phone buzzed another unknown number. This time, it was a text. You're digging your own grave. Caleb. Back off. Attached was a photo of me at the cafe with Sarah. My blood ran cold. They were watching. The photo of me and Sarah shook me to my core. I stopped going to coffee shops. Stopped posting. Stopped answering calls. New York. Once my haven. Felt like a cage, every corner a place where Victor's eyes might be waiting. I stayed holed up in the motel. The USB drive burning a hole in my bag. Marcus's files were damning. But without a plan. They were useless. I wasn't just fighting Ethan anymore. I was up against a machine. Sarah called. Her voice tense. I verified some of the records. They're real. Caleb. Victor's been dodging taxes for years. And Ethan's tied to it. But my editor's nervous. Victor's got friends at the paper. We need more. More? I snapped, pacing the room. I've got bank statements, emails, photos. What else do they want? Something undeniable, she said. A witness. A confession. Something that can't be spun as jealous ex-drama. Keep digging. But stay safe. I didn't know how to stay safe anymore. Victor's text had made that clear. I bought a burner phone and texted Marcus, asking for more leads. He replied with a name, Leo Carter, a former accountant for Victor's clubs. Leo had quit abruptly 2 years ago, rumored to have dirt on Victor. Finding him wasn't easy. He'd gone off the grid. No social media. No address. But Marcus gave me a tip. Leo hung out at a queer community center in Queens. I took the subway. Put up. Paranoia creeping in with every stranger's glance. The community center was a warm contrast to the city's cold, cozy space with rainbow flags and flyers for support groups. Leo was there. A lanky guy in his 40s. Organizing books. I introduced myself, keeping it vague. I'm looking into Victor Kane. Heard you might know something. Leo's face darkened. Walk away. Kid. He's not worth it. I can't. I said, my voice low. He's got my ex. And they're coming for me. I need help. He sighed, leading me to a quiet corner. I cooked Victor's books for years. When I tried to leave, he threatened my family. I've got proof ledgers, recordings, but it's hidden. If I give it to you, you're on your own. I nodded, heart pounding. I'll take the risk. Leo gave me a hard drive, warning me not to open it until I was somewhere secure. Back at the motel, I plugged it in. Audio files, spreadsheets, even a recorded call of Victor instructing Leo to move the money through Ethan's name. This was its smoking gun. But using it meant crossing a line I couldn't come back from. I called Sarah again. I've got recordings. Can you publish now? She hesitated. Caleb, this is big, but it's dangerous. Victor's already leaning on my editor. If we do this, you need to disappear for a while. Disappear? I'd already lost my home, my friends, my life. But I agreed. She promised to work on the story, but it'd take time. Meanwhile, Ethan was still playing the victim. His latest ex-post, some people can't handle my glow-up. Sending love to the haters. The comments were a mix of support and disgust. But Victor's PR machine was working overtime, painting me as unhinged. Then came the knock on my motel door. I froze, heart in my throat. Caleb, it's me. Ethan's voice called. Against my better judgment, I opened the door. He stood there, no longer the confident Instagram star, but a tired, desperate version of the boy I'd loved. I messed up, he said, eyes red. Victor's not who I thought. Help me get out. Ethan stood in my motel room, his designer jacket out of place against the peeling wallpaper. For a moment, I saw the boy I'd fallen for vulnerable, lost. But then I remembered the lies. The video. The way he'd laughed off my pain. I crossed my arms, keeping the distance between us. Why should I help you? You chose this. I didn't know. He whispered, sitting on the bed, head in his hands. Victor promised me everything: money, freedom, a future. But it's a cage. Caleb. He controls me. My phone. My accounts. Everything. I wanted to believe him. But trust was a luxury I couldn't afford. You expect me to feel sorry for you. After you lied, cheated, and let him threaten me. I'm sorry, he said, tears falling. I was stupid. I thought I could handle him. But he's dangerous. Caleb. He knows about your posts. The USB drive. Everything. My stomach dropped. How does he know? Ethan looked away. I told him. He made me. Rage surged through me. I grabbed my bag, ready to bolt. You sold me out. Again. No. He grabbed my arm. I'm here to warn you. He's coming for you. Caleb. He's got people watching. But I can help. I know his secrets too. I yanked my arm free. Why should I trust you? Because I still love you, he said, his voice breaking. I messed up, but I never stopped. His words hit like a punch, stirring memories of late-night talks, his hand in mine. But love wasn't enough anymore. Prove it, I said. Give me something I can use. Ethan hesitated, then pulled out his phone. He records everything: meetings, calls, even us. I've got some of his files. They're encrypted, but I know the password. I didn't trust him, but I couldn't ignore the opportunity. We spent the night decrypting files: audio of Victor bribing city officials, emails about offshore accounts, even a video of him threatening another ex. It was worse than I'd imagined. Victor wasn't just a creep. He was a criminal. By dawn, we had enough to bury him. But Ethan was shaking. If he finds out I gave you this, I'm done. Then come with me, I said, surprising myself. We'll take him down together. He shook his head. I can't. He'll know it was me. I need to stay close. Keep him distracted. I didn't like it. But he was right. Victor would suspect Ethan if we both disappeared. I copied the files to my hard drive and sent them to Sarah. This is it, I told her. Publish it. Now. She promised to rush the story, but warned me again, Caleb. Once this goes live, there's no going back. Victor's got reach. You need to hide. I didn't have a plan, but I had Ethan at least for now. We agreed he'd go back to Victor. Act normal, while I found a safe place. As he left, he hugged me, his touch both familiar and foreign. I'm sorry, he whispered. For everything. I watched him go, torn between love and betrayal. The files were my weapon, but Ethan was my wild card. Could I trust him? Or was this just another lie? I found a new hiding spot: a friend's cousin's apartment in the Bronx, far from Victor's Manhattan empire. The place was cramped, cluttered with old furniture, but it was safe. I kept my phone off, using only the burner to check in with Sarah. She was working overtime, piecing together the story with her editor. It's explosive, she said. But we need one more source to corroborate. Can you get Ethan to go on record? I hesitated. Ethan was playing a dangerous game, staying close to Victor. If he went public, he'd be exposed. But without him, the story might not stick. I texted him from the burner. Sarah needs you to confirm. Can you do it? His reply came hours later. I'll try. He's watching me. Be careful. Days passed in a blur of paranoia. I barely slept, jumping at every noise. The X posts about Victor were gaining traction, with hashtags like Victor Kane exposed trending. But his PR team was fighting back, calling the leaks fabricated and me a disgruntled stalker. Some believed them. My old life friends, job prospects, even my online portfolio was crumbling under the weight of their spin. Then Sarah called. We're ready. The story drops tomorrow. Front page. But Caleb, you need to leave the city. Victor's people are asking questions. Leave New York. This city was my home, my dream. But she was right. I booked a bus ticket to Philly, planning to crash with a distant cousin. Before I left, I needed to see Ethan one last time. I texted him to meet me at a park in Brooklyn. Neutral ground. He showed up late, looking worse than ever pale. Jumpy. His eyes darting. I can't stay long, he said. Victor's suspicious. He's got my phone tapped. Did you talk to Sarah? I asked. He nodded. I gave her a statement. Anonymous. It's all I can do without him finding out. I wanted to scream at him, to demand more. But his fear was real. What's he doing to you? I asked. Softer. Ethan's voice cracked. He's controlling. Everything I say, wear, do. I thought it was glamorous. But it's a prison. I miss you, Caleb. I miss us. For a moment, I wanted to pull him close, to run away together. But the hard drive in my bag reminded me of the stakes. Help me in this, I said. Come with me. We'll disappear. He shook his head. If I leave, he'll know I betrayed him. He'll come for us both. I hated how much sense he made. We parted with a promise to stay in touch, but I felt the weight of his choice. He was still in Victor's grip, and I was alone again. The next morning, Sarah's story hit. The headline screamed, Nightlife Mogul's Dark Secrets, Fraud, Coercion, and a Trail of Broken Lives. It detailed Victor's money laundering, his manipulation of young men, and Ethan's role anonymous. But damning. X exploded, with users digging up more dirt on Victor. Protests formed outside his clubs. The city was turning on him. But Victor wasn't done. That night, my burner rang. His voice was calm, lethal. Caleb, you think a newspaper can stop me? You've made an enemy. And Ethan, he's not as loyal as you think. Victor's words echoed in my head as I boarded the bus to Philly. Ethan, disloyal. I didn't want to believe it. But doubt gnawed at me. Had he played me again? The city faded behind me, its skyline a reminder of everything I was losing. My phone was off, but I could imagine X buzzing with reactions to Sarah's article. Victor was wounded, but not down. I clutched the hard drive, my only leverage. In Philly, I stayed with my cousin Mia, who asked no questions. Her small apartment felt like a sanctuary, but I couldn't relax. I used her laptop to check X anonymously. The article had sparked a firestorm petitions to investigate Victor, calls for boycotts. But his supporters were loud too, dismissing the story as a smear campaign. Ethan's Instagram was silent. which scared me more than his usual flaunting. I texted him from the burner. Are you okay? Talk to me. No reply. Hours turned to days, and my worry grew. Had Victor hurt him? Or was he back in Victor's pocket, betraying me again? I couldn't sit still. Against Mia's protests, I took a bus back to New York, needing answers. I went to the community center in Queens, hoping Leo could help. He was there, sorting flyers, his face grim when he saw me. You're supposed to be gone, he said. Victor's people are everywhere. I need to find Ethan, I said. He's not answering. I'm scared for him. Leo sighed. Kid, you're in too deep. But I heard something. Victor's planning to leave the country. He's cleaning house, tying up loose ends. If Ethan's with him, he's in danger. My heart sank. I had to act fast. I contacted Sarah, who'd been dodging calls from Victor's lawyers. I'm working on a follow-up, she said. But we need Ethan to go public. Without him, it's just documents. I tracked down Marcus again, meeting him at a different bar. He looked worse than before, his eyes bloodshot. Ethan's at Victor's penthouse, he said. I saw him there last night. He's not himself, scared. Maybe drugged. Victor's planning to fly out tomorrow. Private jet. I felt sick. I need to get him out. Marcus shook his head. You go there. You're dead. Victor's got security. Cameras. Everything. I don't care, I said. He's still Ethan. Marcus gave me the penthouse address and a key card he'd borrowed from a cleaner. Don't do anything stupid, he warned. But stupid was all I had left. That night, I slipped into Victor's building, heart pounding. The key card worked, getting me to the top floor. The penthouse was a maze of glass and steel, reeking of money. I heard voices: Victor's, sharp and commanding, and Ethan's, weak, slurred. I crept closer, hiding behind a marble pillar. You're mine, Ethan, Victor was saying. Caleb's gone. No one's coming for you. I peeked out. Ethan was slumped on a couch, eyes glassy, a drink in his hand. Victor loomed over him, a predator savoring his prey. My blood boiled, but I had no plan, no weapon, just rage and a hard drive full of truth. I gripped the hard drive, my pulse deafening. Ethan looked half-conscious, Victor's hand on his shoulder like a claim. I wanted to rush in, but Victor's security was nearby, 2 men in suits, eyes scanning the room. I needed a distraction. My eyes landed on Victor's laptop, open on a glass table. If I could upload the files to X, live, from his own device, it'd be undeniable. I waited until Victor stepped away, barking orders at his men. I crept to the laptop, hands trembling, and plugged in the drive. The files started uploading slowly. Too slowly. Ethan stirred, his eyes meeting mine. For a moment, I saw recognition, then fear. Caleb, he whispered. Victor turned, his face twisting. You, he snarled, signaling his men. I hit post as they grabbed me, the laptop screen glowing with the upload confirmation. The files, recordings, emails, proof of Victor's crimes were live on X. tagged with every major news outlet. Big mistake, Victor said, his voice cold. He nodded to his men, who dragged me toward the door. But Ethan stood, unsteady, and shouted, "Stop!" Victor laughed. "Sit down, Ethan. You're in no state to play hero." But Ethan lunged, knocking over a glass, the crash echoing. The guards hesitated, and I broke free, tackling one to the ground. Ethan grabbed a lamp, swinging it at the other. It wasn't graceful, but it gave us seconds. We ran, stumbling into the elevator, my heart in my throat. Outside, the city was alive, oblivious. Ethan was shaking, barely coherent. "I'm sorry," he kept saying. "I didn't know it'd go this far." We hid in an alley, catching our breath. My phone buzzed. "Sarah, the post is viral. Feds are raiding Victor's clubs. You did it, Caleb." But it wasn't over. Victor would come for us. We took a cab to the bus station, heading anywhere but here. On the bus, Ethan leaned against me, exhausted. "I loved you," he said. "I still do." I didn't answer. Love was complicated now, tangled in betrayal and redemption. But as the city faded, I felt something shift. I'd exposed Victor, saved Ethan, and reclaimed my voice. The cost was my old life, but I'd gained something else: truth. Months later, Victor was indicted, his empire crumbling. Ethan and I parted ways, not as lovers, but as survivors. I started over in a new city, designing again, healing. The scars remained, but so did the lesson: love can break you, but truth can set you free.